I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction. Here with the 3-minute cattle market update for Friday, November the 6th. And you've got to keep an eye on this market all the time. It changes so fast. The board turns sharply lower there middle of the week here. Live and feeder cattle both down the limit on Wednesday. On Thursday, live cattle was down 282 to close on Thursday at 134.40. Feeder cattle down 452 on Thursday because it went to expanded limits after it hit the limit on Wednesday. Could have been down more, and some of the farther out months were down over $5. But Thursday was down on the November contract 452 on feeder cattle, closing at 181.62. Your CME feeder cattle cash index for the most recent one that come out there on Wednesday was at 191.80. That's a $10 spread between what the November spot contract is for feeder cattle based on 750-pound steer and what the CME index is. Your real-time index on Cattle Market Central is a little more up-to-date, including all of Friday's sales, was down to 186.06. So we expect that CME index to drop quite a bit next 2 or 3 releases on there. But there's not any one thing you can really pinpoint why the things went down so hard. It's just that our long-term fundamentals are all weak. It shows a lot of weakness there. We know that this market's going down the road. Anybody that's playing the board or trading in this thing, they want to stay short at some level so they don't miss out whenever it goes down. They might come in back, buy back whenever they roll into a new month, but they want to stay short because they just know that down the road we're in for more losses. The banks, all the lending institutions are getting really tight, so they're making sure everybody's hedged up, which just continues to put more and more pressure on the board. Fat cattle have already traded some in the northern plains, $4 to $6 lower on Thursday, from 204 to 206. Had a few live sales at 130. Remember last week's top in the southern plains was 139. Box beef has been down pretty hard, but still your choice boxes are at 218.86, and that's a long ways above where our dressed steers are trading there at 206 is the best. That's almost $13 there, and ought to be a lot tighter than that. El Reno on Wednesday, OKC West had nearly 9,000. Your feeder cattle were $7 to $10 lower. Feeder steers on a very light test. We don't have many yearlings anymore, guys. It's mostly all just calves. They were steady to weak with the best sales, of course, on those that would be ready to turn out on wheat. Most of those would be long time weaned and had all their shots. Don't see too many guys that are cowboy enough to try to straighten up calves on the wheat. If anybody's tried to do that, that's a tough way to serve the Lord there. You really need to have a preconditioned yard and have them in there for 30 days. We don't have 30 days anymore. We need to be turning those things out here pretty quick. But if you got some cattle that are sure enough straightened out and you know where they come from and you trust them, then you're going to give more for them. Look at Cattle Market Central on some real-time quotes there. Salina, Kansas, Farmers and Ranchers Livestock had 2 loads of steers late on Thursday, weighed 894 at 175. And we've dropped quite a bit. That's pretty much a set mark there for a 900-pound steer is about 175 now. A little more than that up in the northern plains where the farmer feeders are in, and a little less than that down the southern plains. Broken Bone, Nebraska still selling calves good. Had a load of 550-pound steer calves there late on Thursday, bring 220.50. Those good calves still selling good. Check out DV Auction this weekend. Got a big slate of fall production sales. South Texas Heritage Santa Gertrudis sale is noon on Saturday. That's 3 minutes. We'll talk to you next week.